Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Dr. Varkis Ophthalmology Tutorials. Today we will discuss about retinopathy of prematurity. In the last video I had started with the differential diagnosis for the leukocoria, as you all know. So there one of the DDs for the leukocoria is retinopathy of prematurity. So this question can be asked for your 5-mark question or even as main question. Okay, it is also important for postgraduates. Okay, in this video I will be just discussing the definition, introduction part of retinopathy of prematurity as well as the pathophysiology behind ROP. Okay, how do you define retinopathy of prematurity? ROP can be defined as the vasoproliferative retinopathy which occurs principally but not exclusively in the premature infants. It means that it's more common in the premature infants, but it can also occur in the mature or term babies if there are some other predisposing factors which I will be discussing later. So this ROP was first described by Dr. Terry, who was both pathologist and ophthalmologist, in 1942. Okay, so he observed that in a 6-month-old baby there was a greyish white vascular membrane behind the lens in both the eyes. Okay, there was a greyish white vascular membrane behind the lens in both the eyes of a 6-month-old baby. So he thought it could be retinoblastoma. So he enucleated one eye and then the histopathological examination was done for that, which showed that there was a retina which was incorporated in the fibrous tissue behind the lens. So it was called as retrolental fibroplasia. So this was the name given earlier for this ROP, that is retrolental fibroplasia. But this is the end stage of the disease. So there are so many things or so many events which are happening in the retina in the premature baby, hence broadly termed as retinopathy of prematurity now. Okay. So two things are needed to produce this ROP. That is, there must be local ischemia in the retina. The second is incompletely vascularized retina. So if the retina is well vascularized and there is local ischemia for some time, the ROP may not develop. Or if the ischemia is very less in the incompletely vascularized retina also, then also ROP may not develop. So these two are the major predisposing factors for the ROP, that is local ischemia as well as incompletely vascularized retina. But one good thing about the ROP is more than 90% cases of ROP undergo spontaneous regression with minimal scarring in the retina. So let's discuss the pathophysiology behind the ROP. Before that, we should know how the normal vasculogenesis occurs in the retina. At around 14 to 16 weeks, the mesenchyme grows out of the optic disc in the form of sheets of the cords, and this tissue is the precursor of the capillary network which will grow in the retina later. So what happens? This mesenchymal tissue which comes out of the optic disc penetrates the nerve fiber layer of the retina and then grows centrifugally both along the nasal and the temporal retina. Okay. So if you look at this picture, this is the optic disc. So the mesenchyme comes from this center of the optic disc and then grows along the nasal and the temporal part of the retina. The vasculogenesis in the nasal part is complete by 36 weeks of gestation, whereas the vasculogenesis will be completed in the temporal part of the retina by 40 weeks of gestation. Okay, so this is the normal vasculogenesis process which occurs. So how do you say that the vasculogenesis is complete both nasally and temporally? So if you just consider the one disc diameter area just behind the oroserrata, and your vasculogenesis or the vascular process is seen in this one disc diameter area of the ora serrata, that's called as normal vasculogenesis. Okay, both temporally as well as nasally. So important things which you should remember here is the mesenchyme, which is the precursor of the vascular growth in the retina. 14 to 16 weeks gestation where the mesenchyme will enter into the optic disc. 36 weeks which will complete the vasculogenesis in the nasal area. 40 weeks which will complete the vasculogenesis in the temporal area. So if the retina is fully vascularized, it is very much resistant to ROP. Only the immature retina is predisposed to the ROP changes. So what happens normally is the normal fetus which is there in the womb or the uterus is in a little hypoxic state. Okay, partial pressure of oxygen in the unborn baby is around 22 to 24 millimeters of mercury, compared to normal full-term baby or the adult in whom the partial pressure of oxygen is around 70 to 90 mm of mercury. So it is in a relative state of hypoxia in womb. So this is the precursor for production of the vascular endothelial growth factors. So whenever there is increased release of the VEGF, the retinal vascular genesis, the retinal vessels will grow. Okay, so this is the normal physiological process which occurs in utero. So the baby is in a little hypoxic status, so it will produce more number of so the baby is in a little hypoxic state, so it will produce VEGF, which will lead to vasculogenesis. But the premature infants, what happens is, whenever the premature infants are exposed to oxygen because of its general condition, there is decreased VEGF production. The local tissue or the retina thinks that there is adequate oxygen, then there is decreased production of VEGF. That's why there is no vessel growth in the retina. Understood? So because of the exposure to oxygen, there is decreased production of VEGF, so there is no vessel growth. Clear? So the retina becomes avascular. That is one mechanism. The second mechanism is, because of this exposure to oxygen, this oxygen can directly lead to vasoconstriction as well as vasoobliteration of lack of this VEGF again. So the peripheral retina is without the vessels now. That will lead to the peripheral retina without having adequate blood supply. Understood? Let me repeat the pathophysiology once again. Exposure to oxygen will directly decrease the VEGF production, so there is no vessel growth. Then this exposure to oxygen can also lead to vasoconstriction and vasoobliteration of the vessels which are already there, so that the peripheral retina is without much blood supply, or there is inadequate blood supply to the peripheral part of the retina. So what happens next? Once the retina is avascular or hypoxic, this becomes a stimulus. This ischemic retina will lead to late production of VEGF. Okay, there is again production of the vascular endothelial growth factor because the retina again is hypoxic, so it produces more amount of VEGF. So how much VEGF is produced, that depends upon how much area is hypoxic. If there is a small area of hypoxia, then there is little production of the VEGF, which is just sufficient for the normal vessel growth. Then this will turn into the normal retina. If there is a large ischemic area, then there is overproduction of VEGF, which will lead to the retinopathy of prematurity changes. So here, because of all these changes, the endothelial cells of the capillaries are damaged, and there is direct communication between the arteries and the veins of the peripheral part of the retina, almost like a sinusoids which are seen in the liver. So there is no capillary in between these two. The endothelium which is lining these two is also not strong. It is very fragile or leaky endothelium of these arteries and the vessels. Okay. So when I discuss the stages of this ROP, I will discuss in detail about the appearance of the retinal changes. So this is the main pathophysiology behind the ROP. That is, the premature infants exposed to oxygen leads to decreased VEGF for the time being, as well as there is vasoconstriction and the vasoobliteration, which will lead to inadequate blood supply to the peripheral retina. So that will stimulate the increased production of the VEGF in the later stage, and depending upon how much area is affected, either it can go into the normal stage of the retina or it can end up in retinopathy of prematurity. So hope this video is helpful to all of you. If you like my videos, please do subscribe to my channel. Press the bell icon for further notifications. Please do like and share my videos. Thank you so much.